Om Namo Narayanaaya. Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing a new concept which is called Tithi Bija, and using this concept we will find out if there is any problem in the relationship. And this is very secret kind of concept that rarely people use. It is based on the Panchanga element called Tithi. So, as the name suggests, Panchanga means five limbs. And these five limbs correspond to five elements: earth, water, air, space, Agni, fire. So, out of all these elements, someday I'll discuss about all other elements, but today I'm more keen on the Tithi part, because Tithi is that part that deals with the water element. And water, Panchanga, on that particular day when you are born, it shows the predominance of that particular element. If you are born on a good Tithi, oh, there is nothing called good or bad Tithi, okay, except for the Tithi that lies around Amavasya, there is nothing like good or bad Tithi. So if you are born with the Tithi whose Lord is well placed in your chart, then it can be considered as you have a good, resourceful element. Okay. That means if your Tithi Lord, okay, so every Tithi from 1 to 15 in the Krishna Paksha and the Sukla Paksha, in the waxing half and the waning half, all the Tithi have been assigned one Lord. And if that Lord is placed well in your chart, it is good for you. It is good from that perspective. So let me just start with uh, how these lords are. Okay. So Pratipada, I denote it with one. Okay. Pratipada Tithi, this is lorded by Sun. Dvitiya with Moon. Tritiya with Mars. Chaturthi, Mercury. Panchami, Gurudev Brahaspati. Shashti, Shukracharya, Shukra. Saptami, Saturn. And Ashtami, Rahu. Okay. And after this order, it repeats. Okay. The ninth again goes to Sun. 10th goes to Moon. 11th, that is Ekadashi, goes to Mars. Dwadashi goes to Mercury. Trayodashi goes to Brahaspati. And Chaturdashi goes to Shukra. 15th, that is Purnima day, it goes to Saturn. And the Amavasya, when it is 15th of the full moon, it is Saturn. When it is 15th of the dark half, that is Amavasya. Okay. So this is how, based on the Tithi that you are born, you can find out the Lord and see what is the position of this Lord in your chart. Now, as we know, Tithi represents the watery element that you are born with. And we know that in a chart, there are signs for Agni, there are signs for earth, there are signs for air, and there are signs for water. So which all are watery signs? So watery signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. These three are the watery signs. So if your Tithi Lord is placed in the watery signs, it is the best. Okay. If it is in the earthy air, it is okay. It should never be in the Agni sign, because Agni is the enemy of water. You see, when Agni is there, the water will just evaporate. Similarly, you can have this kind of analogy that water is like emotions, water is the relations, water is the love with which you see your partner, and the love with which you see the world. And that love gets evaporated when there is a lot of agni in you. If you are too much krodhi, if you are too angry all the time, then suddenly the emotions will just evaporate. You will just burn that relationship. So many relationships they break because of agni. And if you find your Tithi Lord is placed in the Agni sign, that means you stand a chance for that. There is a possibility that you are ruining your relationship because of these, the Tithi Lord being in the wrong place. Okay, that's one dictum, which is fine. So look at the Tithi Lord, where it is placed in the Kundali. If it is in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, then these are Agni signs. So they are strict no no. So there is something wrong with the relationship. So that's dictum number one. But this is not about that dictum. And I want to talk about Tithi Bija. Okay. So what is Tithi Bij? So Tithi Bij is concept similar to Arudha, but Arudha reference point is a bit different over here. So what we can do is, what we will have to do is, wherever the Tithi Lord is placed, look at the seventh house from there and find out the Arudha of that house with respect to moon. That house becomes the Tithi Bij. Let me repeat. Wherever the Tithi Lord is placed in your chart, look at the seventh house from there and find out the Arudha with respect to moon. Typically, we find out Arudha with respect to Lagna, with respect to ascendant. But in this technique, you have to find out with respect to moon. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are Aquarius. That means your moon is located in Aquarius, this sign. And you are born on Chaturdashi, which is the 14th Tithi. So look at the 14th Tithi. Who is the Lord? Lord is Venus. And suppose your Venus is located, debilitated in the earthy sign in Virgo. It is debilitated, something is off. Oh, you are not 100% in your relationship, but it is in earthy sign. So it is okay. There is a rescue. There is a rescue. It is not that bad. Now look at the seventh house from Venus. The seventh house from Venus is Pisces, this sign. This is the seventh house from Venus. Now find out the Arudha of this house with respect to moon. So how do we find out Arudha of this house with respect to moon? So from moon, count this sign. From moon, count this sign. So it is 1, 2. Now from this sign, count that many signs. 1, 2. So this is the place where my Arudha comes. And this is what I called TB, Tithi Bij. Okay. Now this science becomes important in your chart. You have to see how this point, how this sign is located with respect to your ascendant. Now, suppose your ascendant is Libra. That means this is in the seventh house, it is in the Kendra. So it is good. There is no problem with the relationship. But now, suppose the other way. Suppose this ascendant is not here, but it is in Vrishchik. Okay, this is the ascendant. Now, in this case, this Tithi Bija becomes sixth house. Then there is a problem in the relationship. Then there is a problem in the relationship. So, what three houses we have to be aware of? We have to be aware of the Dusthanas from ascendant 6, 8, and 12. If your Tithi Bija happens to be in the Dusthana from Lagna, from ascendant, that means there is going to be problem in your relationship and hence in your progeny. Let me repeat the whole technique. First of all, find out on what Tithi you are born. Get to know your Tithi Lord. Suppose you are born on the Chaturdashi Tithi. So who is the Lord? Lord is Venus. Look at the Venus where it is located in your chart. Find out the seventh house from here. So seventh house from Virgo happens to be Pisces. Now count Pisces from moon. So from moon, it is 1, 2, second house. From Pisces, count two houses. 1, 2. It comes to Aries. Now this Aries becomes the Tithi Bija. And see in which house is Tithi Bija from the ascendant. If it happens to be in the 6, 8, and 12, then there is something wrong in your relationship. If it is sixth house, that means there is going to be multiple temporary relationships, and there is going to be delay in getting the progeny. There is going to be separation from the partner. Separation in the sense they will be at distance from each other, because sixth house is the house of celibacy also. So there could be, they could be living in different cities, having remote relationship. So there is delay in getting the progeny. That is the possibility. But this is something to uh, which is not good. Second is, if it happens to be eighth house. Eighth house means suddenly there could be termination in the relationship. Suddenly the relationship might terminate. Okay, there could be divorce or some mishap because of which the relationship terminates. If it is 12th house, then there is a problem in getting the progeny. Now, that progeny could be because you are getting delayed marriage or complete denial of marriage, or it could be that marriage is there, but there is no progeny. Both the possibilities are there. So, these three houses from Lagna for the Tithi Bija would be a problem. Okay. Now, apply this technique in your chart and let me know in comment how it goes, or if you have any experience with this with other people also. So thank you so much. Om Namo Narayana.